Get ready for the Leader Chat Room with Paul Kramer, featuring Lifestyle Elite Global Marketing Directors.
Good morning, Lifestylers. Paul Kramer coming to you once again from the Leader Chat Room at Lifestyle's home office in Toronto, Canada. Great to be with everybody today. We've got a great guest today lined up, so let's get right to it. We're going to introduce her to you. She joined Lifestyles in August of 2011. She was promoted to International Marketing Director in June of 2017 and promoted to Global Marketing Director in July of 2018. She was our 2013 Rising Star Award nominee, and she's the 2020 winner of the Business Beyond Borders Award for Europe. So, without further ado, let's welcome into the Leader Chat Room from Metro Manila, Global Marketing Director, Tonette Bergado. Good morning, GMD.
Good morning, Sir Paul. It's nice to be here with you.
Well, it's a great pleasure to have you with us. You've got a great story. We're going to share it with the audience today. Are you feeling ready? Are you excited?
Yes, very excited to tell you all my story.
Well, this is your opportunity to tell everybody across the Lifestyles world all about yourself. So let's get started. We've got a picture here. Of course, these are your parents who are very important to you. You were the youngest of three kids. There are three girls in the family. You were born in Manila. Your father worked in real estate. And your mother was an economics graduate who also helped with your father's business, right? So your family was financially very well off when you were young. Tell us a little bit about your childhood and what it was like for you.
Well, Sir Paul, we're very fortunate because I have a very loving and very supportive parents, and aside from that, they're very generous, and we were brought up in our family is just average, but we live a very comfortable life, and my parents brought us to a very good schools, and we're really so blessed because my father is a very hardworking. He really gives us everything what he can do to bring us a good life. And then not only that, when it comes to education, he really wants the best for all of us.
Yeah, I heard that, when you were young, you were in a private girls' school, all the way through up until college, right? But I also read, GMD, that you claimed to be your daddy's favorite girl. Why did you say why did you?
I just hope, Sir Paul, my sisters are not watching.
I was just going to say that. But, I hope they're not watching.
Well, being the youngest, I could feel that every time I say something and request something for my father to give me something, definitely he will give it right away. And for me, I feel so privileged because being the youngest, there's something in him that I have that edge among my two sisters. I would say I'm kind of spoiled with my father.
Yeah.
Special privileges being the youngest.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's definitely something to being the youngest for sure. That can be quite nice, right? It can be quite nice. So we've got a great picture of you here. Look how gorgeous you look here, and you're absolutely beautiful. In college, this is a college picture. You took up hotel and restaurant management. And upon graduation, you worked in a bank. Okay. And you were introduced to your future husband, Mel. We're going to talk about him in a second. But tell us about working in the bank, your early working days, your early working career, and how you met this Mel character.
Well, when I graduated in St. Paul's College, and my life is quite different from other people because as being the youngest, and we're three siblings. We're all girls.
Hmm.
My parents are quite strict.
Yes.
So, and would you believe, Sir Paul, every time we have a date, we may, my father see to it that we have a chaperone.
Oh, well.
That's how strict he is.
Well, I don't.
That's how strict he is. We have a chaperone.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Look how beautiful you are, and as a young woman, you had to have a chaperone for your own safety. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
And then I met my husband because at that time my grandfather was sick, and then we have the same province.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went home. That was before I started going to. That was I think that was 1980, and then prior to that, we visited my grandfather who was sick at that time, and then that's where I met my husband,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mel, and then because my father-in-law was a doctor, and he turned out to be a politician.
Right. Right.
He was
Oh,
running for a vice governor at that time,
right.
and then I met him, and then from there on, we started. He started getting my telephone number
Oh,
through my auntie, and that's where the communication started.
yeah.
And at that time, there was no cell phone yet.
Right. Right. No, of course not. Of course not. So Mel started doing his own recruiting. He was recruiting you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, around that time, shortly thereafter, you ended up traveling, and you were quite young still. You traveled to Vancouver with your mom, and
Yes.
and while you were there, you decided to just jump over to California. We have a great picture of you here, and you ended up going to LA, and you ended up staying there for an extended period of time, working in a construction company. What did you learn? Like, this is such a great picture with the old typewriter and everything there. What did you learn about yourself being in California on your own and working in this company?
You know what, Sir Paul, that experience in the United States really taught me a lot of things. Like I became so independent, and then not only that, I was able to handle. Uh, I mean, unlike here before, my father was so strict. From there on, when I was in the States, I became so independent. I learned to ride a bus, and then not only that, I know I was able to learn to handle my finances and everything. Everything was, I became so matured, in other words, and responsible individual.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's such a great experience. You're still young. You're out on your own. Not only
Yes,
not only did you come to Canada, but then you decided to go to Los Angeles.
yes.
That's pretty cool. That's a great experience.
I stayed there for more than a year,
Wow.
and then it was a good experience.
And then you returned. You returned to the Philippines, and of course, Mel, who was very patiently waiting for you, by the way. I know he was very patiently waiting for you. He proposed to you when you got back to the Philippines. This was in 1985, and you were
Yes.
married. And we have a couple of pictures here. I want to show everybody. Here's you and Mel getting married. Now, tell us about this, because you were married in a church, and the church. There's something they say about that church, that couples who get married there never separate. Is that true?
Yes, that's in San Agustin Church, Sir Paul. Mel and I got married on June 9, 1985. That was in San Agustin Church. And a lot of people are saying those people who got married in San Agustin never separates. That's the old saying.
Well, that's
And
I.
then after that, our reception was in Philippine Plaza.
Okay, cool. So I assume it worked in your case. You and Mel stayed married, right?
Yes, we're on 38 years now.
Wow, 38 years.
And going strong.
Well, and going strong. Well, that's good for you. Congratulations. That's quite a church, people. That's quite a church. Okay, well, so after the wedding, you started working in real estate as well, right? And
Yeah.
And you were very, very smart, and you were very, very successful in your real estate business yourself. But you had a hard time starting a family. You and Mel wanted to start a family. It was difficult. Tell us about that part of your life, those early days there.
You know what? During my early years of marriage, of course, as a couple, isn't it? Everybody wants to have a baby, but it took time for us to be able to have one, because I had a hard time during my pregnancy.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, it took me after 6 months before I was able to get
Hmm.
pregnant. And then during my pregnancy, there were a lot of challenges along the way before I was able to give birth to my first
Hmm.
son, Paolo.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
so yeah, even during my delivery, I had fetal distress.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So there's no other way for them to have it cesarean, because fetal distress, it means that the heartbeat of the baby is getting faster.
Right.
So there's no other recourse but to have it's cesarean section.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, yeah.
And and I remember during my 6 months with my first pregnancy with Paolo, I remember we were on the road, we were in Pulilan, Bulacan. Uh, we were going to Baguio at that time. And would you believe, Sir Paul, we turned 360 degrees.
Wow, wow.
The road was quite slippery, but then we were not moving that fast, but we had 360 degrees. Wow, I was so scared because I was already on my 6 month
Yes, yes,
of
yes.
pregnancy,
Yeah,
but we still proceeded to Baguio at that time.
yeah, yeah. I know that. I've been to Baguio. That's quite a crazy road going up the mountain like that.
Yes,
And well, you had Paulo, then you had Jello, and
yes,
you wanted them to go to good schools, the same as you did. So they did. They went to good schools, but in grade four, Jello complained of blurry vision, correct, which is never a good thing.
yes,
And at the same time, exact same time, your father was diagnosed with emphysema, lung emphysema. So,
yes.
tell us what happened to both of them, and this must have been very stressful for you.
Yes. Sir Paul, those episodes in our life, those were the challenging part of our lives, because, like for instance, my youngest son Jello, when he was in grade four in LaSalle Green Hills, all of a sudden there was a total blurredness, and then all the while we thought it was just a very we all the while we thought it was just sore eyes,
Mm-hmm.
but then we she was having a hard time, so we brought him to a specialist, a lot of ophthalmologists. We were able to have first, second, third opinions, but all of them have the same diagnosis, which is glaucoma.
Ah, ooh, right.
So oh, we were really so devastated. So, and then he had a hard time in school because of that blurredness in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
We even brought him to Cardinal Santos Hospital, where he was given uh, this device. This he could hardly look those things in the blackboard. So I really have to have a meeting with all the teachers in school. So we have to discuss how we can deal with Jello.
Mm-hmm.
So every time they have a examination, he will be given extra time.
Right,
So
right.
he stays there in front, and he has this magnifying glass
Mm.
in order for him to be able to see it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
but with the prayers and everything, we were so happy that we were able to find out that this this eye problem of Jello can be cured with the help of these lifestyles products, most especially the Intra.
Right, right.
So, and would you believe with that he was able to pass the nursing board exam
Yeah.
in spite of his uh, a problem with the eyes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna get into that because the intro also helped your dad tremendously, and we're gonna talk. Yeah,
Yes.
we're gonna talk about that in a second. But hang on one second there, GMD. Folks, we've learned a lot about GMD Tonette so far, but we've got to dig a little deeper, find out a little bit more about her, and of course, we know the best way to do that is to play Fast Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Fast Talk.
It's time for Fast Talk
with PK.
All right, here we are back with GMD Tonette. Tonette, you know how this works, right? This is called Fast Talk. We've got one case of intro on the screen. You're going to pick a number. You're going to pick a number between 1 and 9. There's going to be a question that comes up, and I need you to answer it as fast as you can. Are you ready?
Yes, Sir Paul.
Go ahead.
Number 5.
Number 5, first question. Yes or no, are you a Sharonian?
Yes.
Yeah, well,
How did you know?
well, I know all of this stuff. Don't you worry about that. Tell us, what's a Sharonian, by the way?
A fan of Sharon Cuneta.
Oh, it's like being a Swiftie, right? It's like being a Swiftie
Yeah.
if you love Taylor Swift, right? Okay, okay, so you're a fan. Okay, perfect. Good to know. Good to know. All right, let's pick another number. Go ahead.
Number 9.
All right, number 9. Oh, more serious question. What do you enjoy more, giving or receiving?
Of course, giving.
And
Sir Paul.
tell me why. Tell me why.
I believe in the saying, the more you give, the more you receive. Because there's a self-fulfillment every time you give to a lot of, most of those people that are in need.
Yes,
So,
yes.
That's really the, there's self-fulfillment in you every time you give to all those people that are in need.
Yeah, yeah, great. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Okay, we've got one more. Pick a number.
Number 1.
Number 1. Great. Number 1. Okay, name one guilty pleasure that you have.
What's that again?
Name one guilty pleasure that you have.
Guilty pleasure?
Yes, one. Just one.
That probably buying signature bags.
Okay. Yeah, okay, well, this is good because I heard through the grapevine, the rumor is that you have no guilty pleasures. So I wanted to find out for sure whether you have one or not, and we did find one. Your handbags. Okay. Okay, well, that's great. Thank you, GMD. Thanks for playing Fast Talk.
Thank you.
All right, we're back with GMD Tonette from Manila, and now is when we're going to get into your story with Intra. And you had taken your father to his ancestral house, and
Yes.
somebody had knocked on the door and heard about your dad's condition. He had emphysema, and they knew about that, and they presented you with a bottle of Intra, which you purchased. Tell us what happened to your dad and how the product helped him.
Actually, Sir Paul, my father was the first person who benefited this lifestyle products. So when my father was not in good condition, so we decided to bring him in Manila because at least we could easily monitor his condition. So every now and then he would ask us to bring him to our ancestral house in Bulacan.
Right.
So one day when we were there, a family friend knocked in our gate, and then he offered the BT kit. So he said, "Why don't you try this?" He opened the Intra, and then he gave my father. Prior to that, Sir Paul, usually my father, every time we travel, I usually bring a nebulizer.
Yes, yes.
And in his room, in our house, he has this big oxygen
Yeah.
because of the emphysema.
Yes, yes.
So at that time, when he was given a 2 shots of the 2 jiggers of intra. So, okay, let's go home. I told my papa, okay, let's go home. And then we brought the Better Together kit.
Mm-hmm.
You just try it first, according to to the one who introduced the product to us. So when we went home, I noticed, Sir Paul, my father usually, once we get home of we usually arrive from the house. Usually we have the oxygen, we put the oxygen, and sometimes the nebulizer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I was surprised. He was not asking for oxygen and nebulizer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what I did, I gave him another two two jiggers of intra. So I was observing and observing. And then after that, so what I did, oh, wow, this is amazing. Uh, so after that, in the evening, I slept with my parents
Mm-hmm.
in their room just to observe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Up to then, there was no oxygen and nebulizer used.
Right.
So I gave him another 2 jiggers. And then I kept on looking at them. I kept on looking at my father. Wow, his his breathing is okay.
Mm-hmm.
His
Mm-hmm.
breathing is okay. So the following day, no oxygen and nebulizer. So I was really amazed with the product. So I kept on observing and observing again. So I called up the one who introduced the product, and then I was trying to update her. You know what? There's something in that product that really amazes me because
Mm-hmm.
my father is doing very well. Yes, not using the oxygen and the nebulizer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, so what? So that's what we did. Every day we give him uh, a couple of jiggers of intra, and would you believe? For a long time he has not been using it, and we have seen the improvements.
Mm-hmm.
So amazing and so amazing. And then after that, I readily got an instant package
Yes, you
because
did. Yes, you.
yes,
Yeah,
because
you
we
bought. Yeah.
easily got an instant package in order for us to get it at a maximum discount. We were just a user, Sir Paul, but
Yes.
I didn't know that I'm going to do this business seriously.
Right, right. And we've got another picture here. When you got your instant direct package,
Yes,
everybody in your family benefited amazingly from the products.
yes,
You know,
yes, definitely.
including your
You know
mother.
what? Sir Paul. One day, my mom was found in the in an in the bedroom unconscious.
Hmm.
So so what we did, we brought him to the hospital. So would you believe we got a comforter just to carry her because she was in the second floor? We brought her to the nearest hospital. So at that time, before we left the house, I told my youngest son, Jello, please bring 1 bottle of Intra. So when we were in the emergency, my mom was still unconscious. Would you believe, Sir Paul? My conviction was really that strong. I asked the nurse, can you give me a piece of cotton?
Mm-hmm.
She was still unconscious at that time. So I got a piece of cotton, and then I I put some intra on it, and then I place it around her mouth, and then I squeeze it, and in order for her to be put inside her body.
Yes.
And would you believe she was revived?
Mm-hmm.
She was revived. And after that, the doctor said, "Okay, your mom will be brought to the ICU
Right. Right.
for further checkup."
Yes.
So,
Yes.
unfortunately, the ICU was quite big, so my son Jella and I were allowed to sleep there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When we were there, when we were brought to the ICU already, the the blood pressure of my mom shot up to 211 over 100. It was so high. So what happened? while the doctors are not yet there and the nurses are quite busy, I gave my mom 13 jiggers, 1-3, but
Was
with interval on it.
yes.
But uh, but I was trying to hide it. I was trying to hide it. I might be reprimanded by the doctors and the nurses.
Right.
So I gave her 13 jiggers because after that she will be brought to have a lot of what do you call this uh, procedures like MRI, the
Mm.
ECG. So they have
Mm-hmm.
to get her from the ICU.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So after that, would you believe at 3 a.m. in the morning, the doctor came over, the neurologist came over, and the neurologist said, I am so amazed how come the recovery of your mom is so fast, considering she's a stroke patient.
Yes.
And then uh, wa- I I was trying to control myself because I can't tell the doctor because I gave her a lot of intra.
Right. Well,
So
I mean, you had
so
such a
what?
you had such a strong conviction for the product,
Yes, very
and
very strong conviction.
and
Then
and
after
yep. Go
then
ahead.
after that, Sir Paul, the 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 doctor gave asked her a lot of questions in order to test her attentivity.
Yes.
Would you believe she was able to answer it with flying colors?
Yes.
And the following day, we were brought to a private room.
Mm-hmm.
On the third day, we were discharged.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
that's really amazing.
Well, your commitment was strong to the product. Your commitment was very strong, for the opportunity. When your dad became very ill, eventually, unfortunately, your father passed away in 20,
Yes,
I think it was 11, shortly around that time.
yes.
You went to a leadership training of GMD Pang, and you were feeling down at the time, and you were almost thinking of quitting lifestyles. But what kept you going in the business?
Um, that was my father passed away December 2011, and I remembered prior to that, that was September 27, 2011. My commitment my commitment was really uh, I would say was put into a test
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
because at that time uh, there was a sort of a leadership training in it also the date fell on the birthday of my dad. That was September 27,
Mm-hmm.
2011.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I was having a second thought if I will go or not.
Yes.
But then I was just doing the business, so I told GMD Peng that I was going and GMD Angie. So at that time, uh, I told my father, Pa, would you permit me to attend this training? Because would you believe, Sir Paul, it was signal number 3.
Mm,
There was
mm,
a strong, there was a
mm.
strong typhoon at that time. But
Yes.
then it was my father permitted me, and then after that, uh, unfortunately, during the time of December 2011, December 2 to be exact, he passed away. So at that time, I was having second thought also if I will pursue my lifestyles business or not because I was really very sad because I'm really very close with my dad.
Yes.
So I, I really felt I don't think I will pursue it because uh, I was really so I I really felt so sad losing my father,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and then after that, after analyzing everything, oh, how about my business partners? I have brought them here in lifestyles. I don't think I will abandon them. So,
Yes.
so what I did, I I tried my best to come back and try to be active again in with my lifestyles business.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you did for sure. We're so glad you stuck with it. I know your downline is glad you stuck with it. I want to show two pictures here. One is you and Angelo when you qualified for the Bangkok incentive, right?
Yes.
And you started really taking the business seriously. This was such a great incentive. You're there with your son. And then I want to show the next picture where you become GMD. And this is, you've got Pang, Angie, Sean's there. Tell us, because you worked so hard to get there, tell us, what did it feel like when you finally hit that GMD?
Well, it's a big fulfillment. Like any distributor, Sir Paul, that's a total dream that any distributor would like to have, to be a GMD. So I'm really so happy because I have achieved that, to be exact, July 2018.
Yeah,
Very memorable.
Yeah, you hit that in July 2018. Of course, the pandemic comes next, right? 2019. And,
Yes.
now you're a GMD, but the pandemic hits. We've got a picture here of you. You won the Business Beyond Borders Award in 2020 for the Europe region. I want you to tell us, how did you change your business, and how were you able to, because your business in Europe exploded. Your group grew very, very
Yeah.
quickly during the pandemic. How were you able to make that happen?
Sir Paul, I was really so happy because I never thought that, in spite of the pandemic, peak of the pandemic at that time, I was, at first, I thought that the business will be affected, but it didn't. I was so amazed with lifestyles because it's so stable and credible, and then I have proven that during this pandemic of 2020 to, and I think that was 2020 up to 2022.
Yeah.
That was the peak of the pandemic.
Yes.
My God, there were a lot of orders, boxes and boxes of Intra, a lot of sign-ups, and then we were also so happy because our London team and Canada team, they were really so happy because there were a lot of orders. So I was saying, the more that our business became so progressive, even during pandemic, so we have proven ourselves that lifestyles is so stable and credible, pandemic free.
Yeah, no, it was incredible because you switched your business to doing online training. You were still you were still supporting your group. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was an incredible time. We were selling so much Intra. Everybody wanted Intra.
Yes.
It was fabulous.
And we went on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
And everything. Everything was in Zoom.
Yeah.
So it really helps a lot.
Yeah, everybody discovered Zoom. We're still doing Zoom meetings on a regular basis. Well, GMD, you're now enjoying the lifestyle of a GMD with the income, the travel, still have all your real estate, and importantly, you have both of your sons in the business. Let's show a few pictures here of this GMD lifestyle. When you think about the business and lifestyles, what is the best thing about this opportunity in your mind for you? How has it affected you? The best part of it?
Sir Paul, with lifestyles, I would say that this is the best business opportunity that anyone could dream of. Actually, we have unlimited income, and not only that, with lifestyles, we're not only selling Intra here, we are selling freedom, financial freedom, time freedom, and we also have passive income. And I'm really so happy. Would you believe, Sir Paul, this is my first networking company that I have joined.
Wow, yes.
And this will be the last because I'm very much satisfied with lifestyles. And I don't think I will stay here for more than 13 years, and I brought along my two sons along with me. If the business is not real, and and what's nice about it, because I've seen my two sons, the big transformation of my two sons. They have become very responsible and matured individuals, and they're what do you call this? They have become the financial literacy. They have learned a lot in financial literacy.
Yes.
The they have their values have really improved also. Everything in all aspects of their lives, they have changed 180 degrees.
Right, right.
In which I don't think any company could offer that. And
Right.
not only that, lifestyles gives us a lot of what do you call this? This is it's not only a business; it's a mission in helping a lot of people improve their health, and not only their health, but we are instrument in fulfilling the dreams of our business partners, and of course, also our dreams too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been so great for you. The thing you said about your sons, I think, is probably more important than the income and the travels and everything else, to see them, right? Because they're starting off, they're early in their lifestyles career, they got their whole future ahead of them. We've got our future ahead of us in lifestyles. We're just getting started in the Philippines. The best years are still to come. What would you say, and what advice would you give somebody who is thinking about joining lifestyles but is not sure? What would your advice be to that person?
Well, for that person who would still hesitant in joining lifestyles, I think it's about time for you to grab the opportunity, because we have the best business opportunity that anyone could dream of. And of course, with lifestyles, the products are really, that's already given. Products are proven and tested. So in here, we have self-fulfillment in which you cannot find in any company. And what's nice about it, we have this feeling that we cannot give it to anyone, most especially, for example, saying thank you to you is really something. Sometimes somebody will call me up, GMD Tonette, thank you so much, because you have helped me a lot with my health conditions. You have improved our lives, and so I don't think we can equate that with money.
Yes, yes.
It's really self-fulfillment that we have here in lifestyles.
Yes, yes.
So I'm really so happy because I have joined this company, and the rest of my family too.
Well, that's
Even my sis.
Yeah, no, that's
Even my sisters, they're both members.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, that's great advice, GMD. Thank you so much. You're very, very inspiring. I know your downline loves you. Cross lines, everybody in the company, is just so fond of everything you've done, and they're all proud of you. So I want to thank you from all of us here for your great work and your great efforts. And keep going, because we're just getting started. And I look forward to seeing you soon on my next trip. So thanks again.
Likewise.
Yeah. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Sir Paul.
Okay. Good night.
My pleasure.
Oh, good night.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
God bless.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it, folks. GMD Tonette Bergado. She says, grab the lifestyles opportunity. We're here. The amazing part is we just celebrated our 35th anniversary, which is an incredible track record. Intra has been sold around the world for more than 30 years. So, and the amazing part is we're just getting started. So the best years, as I said, are still ahead of us. We hope you decide to join us if you're thinking about it. Jump on board today. No time like the present. The best day is today to join Lifestyles. So until next week, next time, from the Leader Chat Room at Lifestyles Home Office in Toronto, Canada, Paul Kramer saying good morning to all of you.